So secondary school was on the horizon. So I knew that it was a whole different environment, and I knew my children, I knew how much they were going to struggle. Towards the back end of primary, they got a diagnosis of fetal alcohol spectrum disorder. So everything that I knew was just not right. Things just weren't right, but I hadn't had the time or the situation to be able to join all of those dots together. We found out that it was because there had been exposure to alcohol in utero from birth, ma'am. So it changes the way your brain develops, and it's just as simple as that. It's science. So that helped me massively, because no one can argue with science and biology. No one can say, well, yes, that's your opinion, but this is our opinion. It's black and white. And that was, nobody enjoys the child getting a diagnosis of anything. You don't want your child to have a diagnosis of anything. But it did a lot for my sanity to think like, I just knew there was something else going on here. So then I had something to focus on, and I was able to go into secondary with some concrete evidence of, this is what's going to happen if we don't do this, this and this. And we got it wrong the first year with my eldest son, and but school were able to admit to that and then take things seriously, kind of for my second boy coming in, because they realised the impact that was going to have on them as well. And also knowing that closely following behind was the third. So we're kind of, and we had to get it right. But I think the saving grace was that I decided that I was going to actively play a really positive role in this transition to secondary school. So I made sure that I forged a really good relationship with school and kind of made them realise that I could help them hugely if they allowed me to help them. And so I would find resources for them, give them tips. They let me meet with the teachers to give practical tips of how to diffuse situations, what might trigger something. If that happens, this is what I would do. It might not always work, but this is what I would do. And I think the biggest thing that I've learned from it all, and the thing that if I've got 2 seconds with a teacher who's working with my child, and I could get to say one sentence to them, it is lower your expectations and think toddler. Because any child who's suffered trauma, early developmental trauma, and certainly any child with any kind of brain difference, because brain difference sounds more palatable than brain damage, even though it is brain damage. But any child with a brain difference, they are going to be cognitively and emotionally way, way younger. So if you just think toddler in any situation and respond appropriately, you'll find that you'll diffuse things.